Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. I'm Toyosi Etim Efyoung. Now, when asked to describe her brand, founder and head designer of Nouva Couture described it as a brand that prides itself as a self-sufficient brand that caters to the woman of character, sophistication, finesse, the classy woman, the confident woman in Africa and beyond. Bolaji Ayinde was inspired by flowers, roses, and colors for her latest collection, Floration. And she'll be telling me all about claiming her space in the growing Nigerian fashion industry. Welcome to the morning show, Bolaji.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And I am donning one of your pieces right now.
I know.
I feel like everything you described, the confident woman, the classy woman, finesse, all of that.
Yeah. So I'm looking at you and I see all those characters in you.
Yes, I'll take it.
Basically.
I'll take it.
Classy, sophisticated. You're an all-rounder this morning.
I'm an all-rounder this morning, guys. Yes. Thank you, Bolaji.
You're welcome.
So I want to talk about the name Nouva Couture.
Okay.
I know that you said you had a problem with the word couture. You felt like it was being misused in the Nigerian context. Can you explain that?
So couture is used by a lot of Nigerian designers just to give their brands a certain kind of charisma.
Right.
And in the real sense of it, couture is anything custom made, uniquely identified to a brand or to a person.
Right.
So it's not just, having Tayo Couture, Lade Couture, behind your name, it just, they use it to elevate the, how do I even explain this?
The brand, the image.
The essence of their brand.
Right.
Meanwhile, couture is meant to be different. So you make a piece, that piece was created distinctively for an individual or your brand and is uniquely identified to that brand.
Right. So how did you select the name Nouva Couture?
So Nouva Couture was, so the name Nouva is a French-inspired name derived from the French word nouveau, and it means new.
Okay.
And when I started my fashion label, I started making couture pieces.
Right.
I wasn't really into ready-to-wear. Now, I just started doing ready-to-wear stuff. But we started with couture pieces. And our pieces, you couldn't wear on a normal day. You had to have a certain function in order to be in a Nouva piece. They were very retro pieces.
And I see some of them on screen right now.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
Okay, so what led to the transition to ready-to-wear?
So in the Nigerian fashion scene, you can't wear couture pieces every day of your life. You would literally be seen as a crazy person. So you can't be going to work and you have this heavily netted gown and you're wearing it and no.
Well, it depends on your kind of job.
Well, I mean, for the kinds of job, you can't work in a bank and wear that.
No, you cannot.
You can't work in
a law firm,
agriculture and wear that. Or yes, so
I get what you mean.
So the ready-to-wear aspect of it is the cash cow.
Right.
So people come into the store and that's an avenue, that's everyday money, basically. Couture has seasons. You have the fashion weeks, you have a Rise Fashion Week. People want to look different, so they buy pieces or they pull pieces. You have GT, you have all these things, and those are seasons where you would sell couture pieces, where you make money off that. But in the industry we're in Nigeria, ready-to-wear is the way forward. So I'm like diversifying, trying to take the brand into the aspect of scaling the ready-to-wear collection or the ready-to-wear aspect.
Right.
And then couture will still be a constant.
Right.
But it's not a cash cow.
Okay, so what would scaling be like for you? Would that be like mass production?
Scaling would definitely be mass production. If we're looking at taking, so our ready-to-wear line right now, we're working with 10 to 12 tailors presently. And it's not enough to cater to the whole of Nigeria.
No.
That's not even,
for Lagos, not even VI.
No, it's not even close. So when we look at that, you need about 100 people on machines working to produce thousands of pieces daily to cater to, different states in the country. So scaling for us is basically, expanding operations, labor, fabrics,
maybe even designers, you know?
so we have to recruit younger designers.
Yeah.
We need to work as a team. But I'm looking at taking Nouva Couture to the next level in terms of ready-to-wear and making the brand as prominent, as popular as Zara.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Well,
so
that's beautiful, and that's yes. But now you're going to act like as a representative for all younger fashion designers in Nigeria. What would you say are some challenges you face as a young designer in Nigeria that's preventing you from scaling and even reaching this goal that this lofty goal that you've just told me about?
So in terms of scaling, it's very difficult in respect to the economic situation. You talk about light. Now, if there's constant light in Nigeria, people would be outsourcing production to other countries like Turkey, Vietnam, you know, Bangladesh or China. So light is a major factor.
Right.
Then, you know, the running cost is, we don't have the machineries here. We don't have the factories here. So, you know, if all those things were in place, I mean, it'll make it easier for us to take our businesses quickly to the next level. But it slows everything down, not to talk of like the financial aspects and all that. Those machineries you can't just bring them in easily. It involves a lot of capital that a lot of young designers do not have.
Right.
You know, so a lot of people will just outsource.
Okay.
In the long run, it's cheaper.
Okay, so I want to know what influenced your decision to actually become a full-time designer, because it's not like you studied fashion in school, but you said you've been sewing from high school.
Yeah.
So how did this journey start?
Okay, well, come see, come star. I studied fashion in QC, so I went to Queen's College.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're still doing now, when you pass your GSC or GS3 exams, when you're going to SS1, you pick between agriculture, clothing and textile, or food and nutrition. And then everyone was food and nutrition because of WAEC, everyone would cook and everything. And I'm like, you know what, let me do clothing and textile. So we're few in the class. Mrs. Obi was my teacher, I don't know. Anyway, so I started it. I didn't have an interest in it. And then first year SS1, A1, I said, this is my best course. So I took it up, I started loving it. It wasn't something I just did it because food and nutrition was saturated. Everyone was going there. Okay. And I fell in love with clothing and textile. I took it up, so it was an A course for me, and anything that's an A course for me, I stick to it. Yeah. So I continued, and in uni, now in my time, my folks and my brother didn't believe in studying fashion designing in university. Yeah. No.
I think that's a new thing that parents are beginning to accept now.
I actually, in fact, sometimes I'm like, why am I not in this generation? Why am I not like, you know, just going into uni right now where you say, oh, I want to be a dancer, and they say, okay, how much is your school fees? £20,000, we'll pay. You know, in my time, it wasn't like that. Right. And they say, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a tailor.
Yeah, tailor.
Just say you don't want to go to school. You know, so I was stuck, and my brother was so strict, and he was paying my tuition, and, you know, I said, okay, I'll go to school. So I went to school. I studied management with computing, majored in marketing, which has really helped me. Right. Really, really helped my business. And I was still going
to your clothing and
I was sewing in my dormitory. In fact, most times I didn't go to classes, I was sewing in my dorm, because that's where my heart was. Okay. And then I took it up. I'll come back home for summer, bring my things that I made, sell, till I had a break in 2010 or 2011, and I had an exhibition at Lagos Polo Club. Okay. And it was awesome.
Wow, and I'm sure that's what led to you now being featured in Banky's music video.
Well, yeah, you can say that.
So what is it like working with celebrities? Does celebrity wearing your piece elevate the brand?
Yes, yes, it does, a whole lot. So the first time a celebrity wore a Nouva piece was in 2012. It was Omaomi and Waje. So we styled Omaomi for her album cover. I've forgotten the album name. And I was like, I felt like a celebrity. I'm like, yes, we made it, you know? Right. But it gives you a sense of, I mean, for someone who is out there, who is a celebrity, to wear your piece, you feel there has to be something beautiful, there has to be something particular about your pieces or your designs that would make that person want to be associated with the brand.
Right.
So it gives you
some sort of validation.
Yeah, like it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
it's a very good feeling. Yes.
Okay, so earlier we were talking about President Buhari's comment about the
we're not lazy, sir.
About the Nigerian youth, and Leonard even commented on that. But what's your? I mean, do you see why he would make a statement like that, looking around us in society?
I wouldn't, like, I don't see why, because a lot of Nigerian youths every day are very entrepreneurial. Like, even my workers that work with me and for me, I say, you guys can't just sit down and wait for your end of month salary. Get creative.
Right. Make
slippers, sell this, be artistic. So people, I think the Nigerian youth aren't lazy. We're not lazy. I started working when I was 16.
Right.
And I've been working since I am 30, and I'm still working.
Wow.
I don't see, I mean, I don't want to take it personal, but I'm very upset, but it's fine. But Nigerian youth, I think they're very hardworking, they're ambitious. Social media has added a whole lot of value in a good way and a bad way, but people are trying to work.
Right, right.
People are trying to work.
Yeah.
You know, Nigerians are, I mean,
I believe Nigerian youth are hardworking.
I feel Nigerian youth are hardworking, more hardworking than even the kids in the UK and the US, to be quite frank.
Right.
They're very industrious. Someone will carry your bag and, you know, it's... Look, we're not hardworking, sir, please. We're not hardworking.
Okay, so let's talk about your creative process.
Yeah.
What you're wearing is stunning. I believe that's one of your pieces.
Yes, it's from the Floration collection.
The Floration collection, though, you were working with a lot of silk and chiffon, and okay, now we have that on screen. This is beautiful, by the way. And that's, okay, I see what you mean by celebrity, because that's Niola.
Yeah, that's Niola.
Exactly.
Yes,
so, but
yes.
tell us about the, I mean, what inspired this Floration collection, and what's your creative process like?
So the Floration collection was inspired by, how do I say this? I was honored for a design I brought out last year called the Rina dress.
Okay.
And Gucci was in Nigeria, and I was honored for that particular piece. They recognized the piece.
Nice.
And they launched
Gucci Bloom.
A fragrance called Gucci Bloom.
Yes.
And then, you know, they took us through the fragrances, the flowers, the mixes, you know, and it just inspired me. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is a fragrance. Let's tap into this, and, you know.
So this is like the design response to
exactly,
Gucci Bloom.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it inspired me a whole lot. And I'm like, you know, I'm going to interpret this into designs and creativity in fashion.
Right.
And so, yeah.
So you basically answered, like, you get your inspiration from anything and everything around you.
And everything natural around me.
Right. But that process from getting the idea to actually now seeing the finished dress, what's that like?
Okay, so the process is a little bit dicey, because then you have something in your head. You have an idea. You have to put it on paper.
Right.
You have to translate it to your staff, translate it to the people that would turn it into a design, into an actual piece. And it has to be in sync with what you created mentally.
Yeah, which can be difficult. I find that sometimes I'm thinking something.
It's very difficult. So the piece you have on, we worked on about 4 or 5 times to get it to the exact state it was in my head.
Right.
And it took a lot of back and forths.
Yeah.
Because the person that is implementing it isn't the person that created it mentally. So it's a little bit dicey. But in the long run, because I have a foundation. I don't just create. I also sew, and I have a foundation of, you know, making. So I put my people through. This is what it should be like. This is well, you're almost there. You got it. Okay, let's do it this way. And then I put them through.
Right.
But it takes time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It takes time.
And what are some lessons you've learned, you know? I mean, you've been doing this for a few years now. So what are some lessons that you think you can pass across to upcoming designers?
Lessons. I don't know from what aspect to answer, but in terms of your passion, I mean, stay true to what you believe in. When you're creative, try to be original. You know, originality is key. When you start something, stick to it. Nothing comes easy. When I started my business, I started with 30,000 naira. It's a story I'll tell my children when I have them. And now God, you know, God has put me where I am. But if I wasn't persistent or consistent, I wouldn't be here today.
Right. So
I wouldn't be here. There should be persistent, consistent things. Even sometime last year, I was going to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm no more interested. But the truth of the matter is this is still the same business that has sustained me. I've never had a 9-to-5. I've never worked for anyone. I don't do fashion on the side, and this is my life.
Right.
You know, so things would always come difficult, but it's because something good is about to happen. So be persistent, be focused, keep pushing.
Well done.
You know,
Well done, Bolaji. So what can we expect from you this year?
Ooh la la, okay. We have 3... Should I spill the beans?
Yes, spill the beans, please.
Okay, so we have 3. Okay, well, we just released the collection. So we're trying to work with, release another collection in June for summer, June, July for summer. And then we're coming out with a couture collection in September, October. September, October, because that's when you have a lot of shows.
Yes.
You have a lot of, so that's when the market for couture would, you know, move. Yeah. So we have 2 more major collections coming out, and yay!
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How can people reach you? How can people contact Nouva Couture?
So yeah, we're on social media. Our handle is Nouva Couture, and we're on Snapchat, Nouva Couture, and we are on Twitter, Nouva Couture. I think there's 411 behind it, I'm not sure. But I mean, if you type in Nouva Couture,
it will come up.
You would see the options, and then you know which one is ours, yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So
and
nice
then we have an
talking to
email
you.
address as well.
What's the email address?
Which is on our social media bio.
Okay, so they can contact you
they can
all
always
channels.
contact.
Thank you, Bolaji.
All
Well
channels.
done.
Thank you so much.
You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you, too.
And that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you so much for watching from the entire morning show team here in Lagos. All that's left to say is enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day. Goodbye.